I would love to give you more information about how to become a lactation consultant. This video is going to be filled with a lot of information, so either get a pen and paper or save this video for later because you're going to want it. There's a lot of great information on iblce.org. There is so much information there, though, that it can be overwhelming. So hopefully this will help kind of not make it feel so overwhelming. The road to becoming an IBCLC can either be short or long, depending on what your background is. If you're already a medical professional, like a nurse or a midwife or a doctor or speech therapist, occupational therapist, physical therapist, then your path is going to be pretty easy. If you do not have a background in healthcare, don't worry, because I didn't either. And you do not have to be a nurse to be an IBCLC. First, you're going to need some education in health science. There are 14 different classes that you need to take, and they are all listed on the iblce.org website. You also have to have 95 lactation-specific education hours. These can be done virtually or in person. Some great places to find these hours is Gold Lactation, Lactation Education Resources, Lactation University, and you can use part of the hours if you already have some other kind of certification like Certified Breastfeeding Educator, Certified Lactation Counselor, things like that. You also need to choose what pathway you're going to take. There are 3 pathways that you can take. Pathway 1 requires 1,000 clinical hours. If you're already a recognized health professional, like a nurse, midwife, doctor, etc., then this is your pathway. You can also do this pathway if you're like La Leche League leader or Breastfeeding USA leader, or you run a breastfeeding support group under one of the approved organizations. Pathway 1 is the way I went. I ran a breastfeeding support group for 4 years. Okay, pathway 2 is 300 clinical hours. You'll want to choose this one if you just want to go to school and get a degree in lactation, or you complete a comprehensive academic program through one of the approved sources. Pathway 3 is 500 clinical hours. You can do this pathway if you find a mentor, and a mentor has to be a current IBCLC. This pathway requires approval from IBLCE before you can continue with your hours. So, all of this stuff, your pathway hours, your 95 lactation-specific education hours, all have to be completed within 5 years of testing for the exam. I know I just gave you a lot of information, and a lot of these things can be done at the same time. You don't have to do one part and then one part and then one part. You can work on your lactation-specific education hours while you're doing health science classes. You can also be getting your clinical hours if you're pathway 1 or pathway 2 while working on the rest. But most people for pathway 3, if you find a mentor, they're going to want you to have your education hours and all your health sciences classes done. I already have another video down below that shows you study materials for when you apply for the exam. Please let me know if you have any questions. I'm here to help.